Kids, once again, I'm going to speak on a Dracula film from Hammer Films. I started this previously with The Horror of Dracula, uh, the first Dracula film from Hammer Films as a Monster Mondays. I've decided to discontinue Monster Mondays. It was meant as something that more people would get involved with, but there was only two of us who did. Um, this is a very interesting film. The direct sequel, the first sequel to uh, Horror of Dracula or Dracula, depending on what region you live in, uh, came 2 years after the first one. Uh, both films were directed by Terence Fisher. This one does not have Dracula in it. Apparently, they were going to go with, they had a working title of Dracula 2. I don't even think they used numeral too much. Now, I don't know for sure, but I mean, they were going to have Christopher Lee in a cameo. I'm assuming a flashback or something, but he refused. This came out in 1960, by the way. Uh, might actually have been 3 years after uh, the first one, but was that 58 or 57? I can't remember. But Terence Fisher also did, the first Frankenstein, The Curse of Frankenstein, the same year. It would have been 3 years, I think. I think I might be completely confused here. Nope, Dracula came out a year after, uh, or the Horror of Dracula came out a year after the uh, the Curse of Frankenstein, which is the first Frankenstein movie from Hammer. And the reason why I bring up Frankenstein, uh, the Hammer Frankensteins never had the consistent, uh, the same monster. It just chose to follow uh, the Dr. Frankenstein, the Peter Cushing. And I was thinking, and I can't find any confirmation on why they decided to exclude Dracula from this uh, and have Peter Cushing come back as Van Helsing. Uh, I have a feeling that they were trying to do the same thing with the Dracula films, than or just like the Frankenstein films, to keep Peter Cushing as the main star, villain, and the Frankenstein hero in the Dracula films. And the first Dracula film, Van Helsing actually brings it up that anybody, the people who become vampires after being attacked by Dracula and then a domino effect, are viewed as a cult, Dracula's cult. This is brought up in this movie as well. Uh, and that's who we're concentrating on. This young woman, let's see, what's her name again? Very, very lovely French young woman. Uh, Actress name is Yvonne Manlor. I'm not sure if that's pronounced right. She plays Marianne Danielle, one of the most naive human beings in the history of movies. Um, she's making a trek to the school who hired her. She's a teacher, and well, some problems occur, and she ends up at this little pub in this small village, and Baroness Mainster, or Meinster, which sounds and looks a little bit like Monster. Uh, she comes into the pub. She's played by Martia Hunt. She offers her to have a room for the night, and when she gets there, she sees, and she assumes she's the only one other than this one maid uh, in the mansion, or could be called a castle. They are part of the aristocracy. Uh, she sees Baron Manster, uh, played by David Pohl, who is, or Peel. He is the son of the Baroness, and in time she figures out that he is chained to his room. The backstory is that the Baroness, this is a family shame, very, very gothic theme there. And he is chained up by her, but she lures young women to him for his supper, basically, and that's what she is to her. Um, of course, she's not told this because she's lunch for the boy, the young man, and well. She sees him, starts having conversations with him, finds out where the key is, and she sets him free. And of course, the first thing he does is kill his mother. She did lock him away, and of course he kind of terrorizes the countryside from there. But he's also interested in her. She does. Marianne does not know he's a vampire for the longest time, and they do meet outside the mansion or castle, and she's on her way to on her way to the school, and she makes her way to the school, and then even though he or she just met the guy, she ends up agreeing to marry the Baron. Van Helsing. All this is really good, and then when Van Helsing, and I'm not blaming Peter Cushing for this, the movie kind of slows down and becomes kind of clunky after that. I like the movie. It's just the setup is better than the payoff, in my opinion. Uh, David Peel does an excellent job of being a vampire. He's very good in the role. They do the same kind of techniques to make him frightening. The red eyes and big vampire teeth. It works well enough, but it's not as effective as Christopher Lee. Uh, I wouldn't want to be in the same room, but Christopher Lee goes into full vampire mode, even if I know it's fake, because he's scary as shit. He's the scariest Dracula in movie history, in my view, and my favorite because of this. Uh, there's really not much else to say. I really do like the film. It's kind of a big step down from the first one, and they get back on track, in my opinion, in the third film. Not just because they bring back Christopher Lee as Dracula, but because they up the horror, and I'll be talking about that after a bit. But one thing, I don't know if it's a mistake or not. I think it's a mistake. But the first film threw out the whole concept of vampires turning into bats, they decided to rewrite that, and they brought in a bat. And I gotta say, Universal did an advancement in the bat effects in the 40s. And this is 1960, and they go back to the 30s with a guy holding a pole with a string. It's I don't know. It's They shouldn't have done it. They should have try to get one of those mechanized ones from the 40s, where the bats, the wings flap based on the mechanism within the body, but they don't do it this time. It's a good movie. I do recommend it as usual. I love the Technicolor photography. It's very rich. It just looks beautiful. It looks so much better than things shot on digital nowadays. But cinema is dead. But at least in my view. Well, that's it for Brides of Dracula. Very good vampire movie, but not as good as some of the other ones that came before it and came afterward. Until next time, this is Charles T. Cochran saying stay safe. Always have a good time.